heal our land. I believe we can reach out and help, empowering our children and women, and to build a strong family, to build your integrity, giving hope, giving light, bringing peace to our world. And this is the real movement.
If it's a project that involves finances, sit down. How much is it going to cost? How are you going to get the money? What is your income like? Many of us don't keep records of our expenditures. We don't keep records of income, of what comes in. It's so important to do these things, because then we'll be able to track it. Our lives will be on track. We would be on top of all that is going on, and we'll be able to plan for success. It's so important for us to be organized and to be on top of our game. The Bible encourages us. It says the young women should keep their house. Of course, this is for both young and old. It just means that when you're a young woman, you learn to keep your house, and it stays with you even as you grow older. When we talk about keeping our homes, oh my God, there's so much to do. And I'm not talking about your house being, perfect 24/7. No. But there must be a level of organization that goes on in there. I'm not advising you turn your house into a museum where kids can't even play with their toys. They can only look at things and not touch. No. In such an atmosphere, there won't be freedom. But you can teach them to, pack up their toys after playing. I had this culture of, just having designated places for everything. There's a place for everything. Everything in your house, in your office, belongs to a particular place. Dirty clothes should go in a bin, a basket, a laundry basket for dirty clothes. It shouldn't be mixed up with the clean ones, so that when your kids are looking for what to wear, they don't go into their wardrobe and they're sniffing which one is clean, which one is dirty. You already know where each one is. So when it's time to do the laundry, you just pick the basket. I like to have bins, waste paper bins, around the house. Someone might say, well, one is enough for the whole house. No, you might need one for every room, so that it's very easy, to dispose of waste. These are just very, very, little tips that could go a very long way to help us to be more organized, to be more effective, and, less stressed with all the things that we have to do. Planning. Someone said, if you don't plan to succeed, if you don't plan ahead what you want to do, you don't plan to succeed, then you're already planning to fail. Unconsciously, you are planning to fail. But we shall not fail in Jesus' name. I see us succeeding. In Proverbs 31, from verse 10 to the end, it talks about this woman that was just so organized. She's, just so on top of her game and all of that. In verse 27, it says, she looks well to the ways of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. This means that, she feeds her family. She looks after them. She looks after their clothes. When you think about it, it might be overwhelming, but this is what God has called us to. Particularly if you're a woman, we are called to be givers. We're called to help at every level, Your husband is pulling at you. He needs something. The kids, they need things to be sorted out for them at one point or the other. You're doing school runs. You're going up and down. We need not be, stressed and overwhelmed. And even as single women as well, you need your parents wanting you to do something for them. A friend wants you to, drop off something for her, pick her up, meet her up at certain place. We find out that we always have a lot of duties. Not to talk about our jobs, our careers, and whatever we have. Today, with all the technology we have available, with us. We need not carry paperwork all over the place. We can scan documents onto our USBs, onto CDs, and onto our laptops, back them up, so that when the physical paper, the hard copy, has gotten trashed or lost or whatever, we can still retrieve those documents. And sometimes those documents are very, very, important. So it's very, very important for us to organize our thoughts, organize the things around us, plan. And by so doing, we would achieve greatness. There's no one that achieved greatness that just stumbled on it and got there. Many of them were great planners. Someone might be out there and say, look, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm an entrepreneur. How do I combine all of this? It is quite overwhelming. And, I would advise you that, you sit down, count the cost, itemize everything that you are, all your assignments in order of priority, ask God for grace, and begin to look at all the things you're doing right now. And first of all, we can look at the things that are not really, really necessary. There's some things that may need to go. You look at it critically and you say, do I really need to do this at this point in time? And if the answer is no, then remove it from the list so that you have more time. Again, you can look at the things that you do, the things that are on your plate. Are there things that someone else can do and even do it more effectively? Because many times, as women and as people generally, we hold on, more than necessary to certain things. We hold on to certain assignments. But if we look at it carefully, there are things people can help you to do, and they will do it very well. And there are things that people can't help you to do at all. So it's important to, order those things, itemize those things in that order, in that priority. I mean, if you're gainfully employed, you're working somewhere, you have a direct boss, you have to please your boss. Do your work, deliver the results, Other things like there are certain things you can delegate. For example, if you need someone to help you pick up mail, or if you need someone to help you post a letter, you might be able to get someone to help you do that. Occasionally, maybe you might get someone to help you with the laundry. Sometimes you can get someone pick up your child from school. That is okay. You don't have to strive to do everything by yourself and everything all at once. When we fail to plan, it affects our, emotional lives. It could affect our emotions, because we're so stressed up. I advise that even between activities, when you finish one activity before another, take just a few minutes. It could just be 2 minutes to meditate, to think, to get your thoughts again together, to be at peace within you. Don't just rush into things, rushing from one activity into another. Gather your thoughts together, and you find that this gives you even much more strength, than you imagined. And, physically as well, we, especially women, I like to, always, I like to advocate this a lot, that we should take time to exercise our bodies. Physical exercise is very important. We must be fit. Yes, I hear someone saying, oh, where is the time to go to the gym and all that? You don't have to go to the gym. You can just take a walk very early in the morning or late in the evenings. And you say, oh, I have small kids and all that. You can do it, before they get up out of bed. We must find ways, because we're talking about our health right here. You must prepare for, you must plan for time for fitness. Well, if you, for example, have the opportunity to walk to your place of work, or you walk to catch the train or to get on the bus to go to work, and you have to walk quite some distance, that's okay. That means every day you are getting a measure of fitness. But most of us, we don't do that. We, hop from one form of transportation into the other, and we sit in the office behind some desk, and that is it. We're not exercising our bodies, and this could impact on our health. So we must find ways. We must find ways. It can actually be fun. Some women have joined the dance class. Some have joined the gym, where you're doing it with other women. When you're doing it with other women, you don't feel you are all alone. Okay, you are encouraged, you are motivated to do that. Some have gone on to even hire personal trainers. If you can afford it, that will train you personally to get in shape. It's so, so important. It's all part of the things that we must plan for, that we must weave into all the things that we have to do. Planning is key. There is no shortcut to it. Being organized, setting out all the things that you have to do. It's also important, I do this a lot, get various types of containers, where you can store things. Many of these containers are, they are house friendly. Some need to be transparent so that you can see through, especially with all the things we have, shoes and bags and all that. A lot of women, you find that they're looking for their shoes under the bed, they're looking for, things can be in proper places. We can have things that will help us to store the things that we need away. And these things don't cost a lot. You don't have to have a lot of money to do it, okay? Even when you arrange your clothes, you can put same colors, group colors together, group tops together, separate from skirts, from long pants, and all that, so that when you have an idea of what you want, you just go straight for it. And with that, you are better organized, and you save time, and you look, at the same time, you look smart. I mean, some women, I know that it's tough raising kids, especially when they're very young, but you don't have to look, like, you don't have to look disorganized, you don't have to look, you can still look smart and pretty, you can still look nice. Everybody doesn't have to know that, well, she has small kids, so stay clear of her, or someone comes into your house and your house is just right upside down because you have kids. Of course, if you have kids, allow them to play and all of that, but it's not an excuse to be tardy, to be shabby, okay? With proper organization, we can, pull it all together and, be on top of our game. God bless you. I hope that this has gone a long way to be a blessing to you. And I believe that we can take our organization, to the next level. And with that, we are planning for success and to attain greater heights. God bless you. This question says, I read recently about the different temperaments. I would like to know if some people's temperaments cause them to be disorganized. And if yes, how does one handle it? As this is causing problems in some homes.
When you identify it as a problem and then you're ready for change, then the process can begin.
Work at it, right? That's what you're saying. Yes. You have to work at it. Yeah. Don't just tell your spouse that, look, this is how I am. I'm disorganized and you just have to take me like that. You have to put some effort into it. How do I combine my role as a wife, mother, entrepreneur, and mentor? This is a very common question. All through, we hear this a lot. How do I balance my roles, on the home front and out there in the workplace?
Well, looking at it from the human point of view is almost impossible because we're not superhumans. I remembered a picture I saw once.
Because I also have my obligations towards God as well, to spend time with Him. And I begin to arrange everything, just to bring everything into perspective, So it's important to list all the things you are and keep weaving them in, trusting God for grace. Learn to delegate when you can. Plan, effective planning. We said so already earlier. Plan effectively. And, you soon see yourself being able to juggle all of this. I'd like to ask this question, Yoma. How do women, do women need some certain level of organization to be able to put it together in their appearance? I mean, how do I package myself outwardly, physically? We've talked a lot about emotions, internally organizing ourselves, dealing with relationships and all that. But how about looking good, looking nice, looking neat for your job, even for your kids? Even if you're a stay-home mom, it doesn't mean that you have to have rollers or curlers in your hair and your husband leaves you the way he left you. You've not taken a bath in 2 days because you're taking care of you. How do you, is there some level of organization needed in planning what to wear and all of that?
It's important that you first realize that it's for yourself. Because even Bible says it, love your neighbor as yourself. You can't love somebody else if you've not experienced love yourself. If you don't know what it is, you cannot, transfer it to the next person or give it out. So it's important that you discover yourself. You're created in the image of God. You are God's chosen possession, and then you also represent God in everything that you do. It's not just when you go to work or you help other people. The way you also help yourself matters, because if you're stable in your mind, you have to be stable all around, physically, emotionally, and even in the way you present yourself. So grooming is very, very important for anyone. And don't say because, okay, I'm a stay-home mom, who am I impressing? In fact, growing up, I had a grandmother who, funny enough, would wake up, take her time to have her bath, and then she'd put on some powder and some lip gloss and sit down in her house. And it was during the time I was in the university, and I had to ask her one day.
That must have impacted
Mama,
you.
where are you going? For crying out loud, because you obviously are not going anywhere. And she's like, yeah, I don't have to go somewhere for me to be presentable, as in, Bible says be prepared in season and out of season. So if the governor decides to visit me today, I'm ready, as in to host him in my house. And I took wisdom in that. I was like, oh, I don't have to wait till an opportunity presents itself before I get ready to look like where I want to be in the next future. So it's important as a mother, because you're also a role model, like part of what we were talking about. And the children are watching some people that you don't even know, cloud of witnesses. There are people around who are encouraged, by the way you take care of yourself, and you seem to have it all put together. So it gives them hope that is actually possible, but more importantly, for yourself. When you see yourself, you're happy that you still have something to offer. And then even when your husband doesn't have time to look at you, you appreciate yourself and what God has done for you. And there's so much to look forward to at the end of the day. So it's important that we package ourselves properly as women, because we are role models, and then we have a whole lot more to offer than we may present with our hair curled up and in our jumpsuits at home and all.
Thank you. And we do have a lot to juggle as women. We have to do our hair, put on our clothes, shoes. We don't just have one pair. It must match. And thank God these days I hear that things must not be too matchy. Deliverance for some of us, and for some people out there, that your shoes don't have to match your handbag. Because some people find it difficult doing the matchy thing. So now we're freer. It's kind of like almost anything goes. Not anything actually, but almost. Yeah, and I want to talk about saving time when it comes to dressing up, because this is something I had to learn personally. I'm someone that's always on the go. Oh my God, always on the go. And I could have an event today, preaching schedule, studio work, church. And then my husband says, oh, we have to be at this event. So I found out that sometimes I used to run late a lot because, one, maybe I knew what I'll wear for the first thing. But for the later event, for later in the evening or the next day and the next day, I hadn't thought it out. And then in the morning, I'm dressing up and it's like, I put it on, it doesn't quite. In my mind, I think this is what I'll wear. And then the zip could come off and you didn't have a backup. Like, where do I start from? I had just fixed my mind that this is what I was going to do. I learned that that's not too good. I learned that I have to plan, like maybe the weekend before the very busy week. If I have 5 events come Monday, Friday or Saturday over the weekend, I must find time, which is now like a me time, to really sort out my clothes and think, for this event, what do I wear? I arrange it, match the shoes. I hang it up somewhere. Take the next event. Just line up everything. In fact, I found that it was not enough to see. Sometimes I pick out the clothes and I say, okay, on the day of the event, I'll throw in the shoes. But as I got busy, I found that it's better to think it through from head to toe. So everything is ready. And there's also a backup. And for me, I travel a lot. I travel abroad to speak, and I have to look at it. Am I speaking 3 times in this event, 4 times, or twice? I have to put in my suitcase what I need from head to toe. God help me if I forget something. I can't go back all the way to Lagos, Nigeria, where I'm based, and I'm far away in the US or the UK. That's tougher because I have to pack everything. If I have 4 speaking extra, in case this doesn't work out. You know, I have to think of camisoles, I have to think of those other things that, you know, pins and clips, because now I'm not I don't have access to my normal wardrobe now. That's tougher. So I've got to take out like almost half a day or some hours to pack. Packing is not just I just throw in anything. I must deliberately think and organize my thoughts. I must picture myself in that event. Sometimes you may have to look at the invitation card as women. Is there any color? Have they specified any color code? Have they specified any dress code? Have they said business casual or casual? Have they said jeans? Have they said nothing? That means wear anything. Do you look at the event? Is it a formal event? Sometimes you need to call up the contact person on the invitation. Is there any specification in how we should? We shouldn't be shy about it. Once I was, and then I found myself, it was not quite. Yeah, you know, so. What do you have to say about that?
I mean, you've said quite a lot. It's very, very key, because if you see it as an important part of your daily living.
Sorry to cut in. I didn't see it as important, but I thought I was too spiritual. Like, no, we'll just be. Let me prepare this. I will prepare my sermon, everything, and then come to the dressing. Like, I have no.
But at some point, you came to that
realization
that you have to do something about this, and that's where it starts. Because sometimes you start off and you don't even know where to begin. The dress sense is not even there. What do you do? So you can luckily now there are a lot of things, image experts.
You do that, don't you?
Yes,
okay, we put out there.
She helps people that can put you through. Some people don't even understand that they have body types. You know, your body type. So you see something,
the pear shape and all of that,
and then when you buy it and you try it on, you make sure that nobody was there, because you turn out completely opposite. So some of those things, because you don't have the knowledge, you might have to employ somebody who is an expert in such to help you through. And as you gradually train yourself, eventually you get a hang of it, and then you can begin to combine things for yourself and get creative.
Yes. Actually, I did get some help in that area. You know, I have young proteges who are into all stuff like this, and I know you are also. Like you said, it's not about having all the money, because some women might say, I don't have money for an image consultant, I'm not rich, I'm not, but they could help you a bit, and then you say, okay, I'm okay on my own. Some people have had to go for some of these training classes, just a weekend course. It doesn't cost much. They tell you your body shape. They tell you if you're big below. You can do more of dark colors.
Comfortable.
Just wear things because everybody's wearing straight out of the magazine. You have to understand yourself. And this takes organization. This takes having your me time and thinking. What kind of shape? What works for me and what does not work for me? Because I tell you, there are people out there that may not tell you the truth. One of the things I hate most in my life is deception. When I think, oh, I'm okay, I'm solid, everything is fine. And people are not, they tell you look beautiful, or some are saying nothing and you think you're fine. Not everybody, people usually don't have the courage to walk up to you and say, I think next time these colors don't suit you. You know, and all of that. So, I mean, same thing with makeup. I mean, you know, someone that does my makeup for me, it's always, God bless her heart. You know, but when she's not there, hey, I'm good to go, because I've learned some tips already, and I'm like, hey.
That will help.
And sometimes people have seen me and say, who did your makeup? This one I did myself. Really? Because I've learned in the process, women, we need all these helps. We need to be organized. And that's why many times you say, my husband, some women will say, my husband, he just drove off, he left me. Because I was running late for the event, you know, and he was angry with me and all of that, you know. We can actually be on time if we organize ourselves very, very well. Well, thank you, Neoma. It's been nice having you today. And viewers, thank you. I believe you've been blessed. I believe you've been helped. You've been able to take away, you know, 1 or 2 tips. And I like the one where you said, even if you're a stay-home mom, I like the one about your grandma. You need to look good. You're thinking, who's looking at me anyway? I'm not you know, I don't go out for any event. But your kids are seeing you, so especially if you have daughters, that means they're kind of getting the impression that it's okay to dress anyhow as long as I'm in the house. So when you start telling them, go change, go put on, it's like, Mom, but you haven't had a you know. Well, viewers, thank you. I'm sure it's been a wonderful time. So till next time, God bless you. Stay on top of your game. Get organized. And I tell you, you are on your way to the top. You will succeed in Jesus' name.